everyone, and welcome back to the ChromaticKnits podcast. My name is Michelle, and this is my place on the internet where I talk about all of my yarning adventures. You can find me at all the places listed down below in the description, and I am so glad to be back. It's been forever. It's been like 5 months. Can you believe that? The last time I was here was in April, and yeah, so I'm back after this break. So I know what the first question is going to be. Why were you gone for so long? So part of it was some mental health struggles. So we've talked about mental health on this channel many times, but for those of you who don't know, who are playing the home game, I have several diagnoses, including severe depression. And I get, so they usually attribute seasonal affective disorder with the winter because people don't go out as much and they don't get as much sun and like vitamin D and get that life into their body. Well, I live in Arkansas. For those of you who've never been to Arkansas, it is so hot here in the summer, like triple digits a lot of the time, and it's horrible. And it's basically cooking. Like there's like hot, hotter, and then just cooking. Like we're just cooking down here. It's so bad. And so I, being from Wisconsin, do not appreciate that weather. And so I stay inside in the air conditioning during all of that time. And so I'm also not getting the sunlight. And so during the summer, I usually get a little bit more down and a little bit less energy to do things and just don't enjoy doing things that once gave me joy. So I never ever want to come on this podcast and be in that mood or that state of mind, and I 100% want to enjoy it every time. So yeah. So that is why I haven't been here, because this is a place of joy. This is something that I enjoy doing, something that I love reaching out to all of you and showing the things that I am working on. And I would never, ever want to come here in a bad state of mind or in a way that would affect my mental health negatively. So, that being said, I am back. Lots of things going on. I've been sorting through some stuff and finally finished some things. Woohoo! So let's get into it. The last time I was here, I was working on the Sweet Shop blanket by Penrose Knits. Yeah. And I finally gave up on it. Like, I don't know. Every time I was working on it, just after that email that I got from Laura Penrose, who's the designer, I was just like so frustrated. I was just like, you know what? I just have like the negative feelings on this blanket that is not the vibe that I want to be giving this gift with. And so I was like, I just said, forget it. And I just started over and did a completely different blanket. So, which you'll see in a minute. But yeah, no, I was like, forget it. I'm not doing this. This is just too much. So instead of doing the Sweet Shop blanket, I did the Chevron baby blanket. This is a pattern by Spots Tricot. It is a free pattern that you can find on Ravelry. And it is super simple. It's like two rows to get you started, and then it's literally like a 2-row repeat the whole way down. All of the yarn that I used for this was cotton or a cotton blend. So the cream color and the brown are both Lion brand 24/7 cotton, and then the green is Knit Picks Cotlin, which is a cotton linen acrylic blend. It's actually really soft, and it's washable, which is very important when you have an infant. So this will be going out to my friend Micah, who just had a baby. It was very exciting, especially for her because she's been on a very long fertility journey, hoping to get pregnant for a very long time. So it's very exciting. This will go to her baby. Very excited about that. And then, so when I read the pattern, what, okay, so remember, originally I was making the sweet shop blanket, so I got enough yarn to make that blanket. Now that blanket is like way bigger than this blanket is, so I had so much extra yarn, like I still do, and I'm gonna have to find another project to make with that yarn. But I had so much extra yarn that I was like, it'd be a shame, because I got those colors, the black the brown and the green, because those are Micah's favorite colors. And so and those are the colors they're using for the nursery and the baby and everything. So I was like, you know what? I'll just make the baby a hat. So I did. This is the classic cuffed hat by Pearl Soho, also a free pattern on Ravelry. It's just a basic, I did the smallest size. This is just a basic baby hat. I'm really hoping, I always get really nervous with babies and hats because babies just have big head, like surprisingly big heads. And I'm like, I really hope that it can't be bigger than that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it can't be bigger than that, can it? I don't know. I always get nervous. But, so this will be going out with that blanket. And the fact that he won't need it until like November, December when it gets cold, right? So it's still got a couple months before we get there, but we'll see about that. And then I was also working on my, and again, the yarn I used for this was Knit Picks Cotton, which is that cotton linen acrylic blend. And then I finally finished this blanket, which will go to my cousin. This is just a corner to corner blanket that I literally made up and based loosely on a dishcloth pattern. And then I basically just made the border bigger and made it as big as I felt like I wanted, and then just made it smaller. And then just decreased. So yeah, so it's actually really big. And so the baby will be able to grow into it for a while because she is a bit older now, actually. So it's good that it's a bigger size. So it's good that it's a bigger size. I don't know if that cut out because I just got a phone call or not, but we'll see. Anyway, so this is done. This is like mostly acrylic. There's like one skein of the yellow skein in here is wool. So, but they should be able to still wash it. It'll be fine. So those are done. Those will get mailed out soon, but I just wanted to share them on here first. So that is all that I have finished, but I mean, that's good, right? 2 blankets and a hat. I'd say those are pretty good, pretty big projects. Let's get a drink first before I keep going. Oh my gosh, I got this cold. So here in Arkansas, a big crop that we have here is cotton, and not surprisingly, and they spray this chemical on the fields that makes like the cotton bloom a little bit more, so it's easier to pick. And that stuff just like gets into your lungs and like into your sinuses and just gives you like the worst cold ever. Like, it's horrible. And so I'm still kind of getting over that because they sprayed like last Wednesday or Thursday, and then, or no, a week ago Wednesday or Thursday, and then like I still have a little bit of a cough, a little bit of congestion that's still going away. It's just terrible. And then my partner got it, and so everybody in this house is just sick or is still getting over it. So yeah, not sponsored, but Mountain Dew Zero is the bomb. Anyway, so those are the things I have been working on and finished. Now I have 2 whips. So one of them, okay, so here's the story that is the true story. So normally I wouldn't really work on this project this much because crocheting hurts my wrists a little bit. But honestly, this thing got so much attention because I left my other project in my car after knit night. So I just kept forgetting to get it. Like, I kept forgetting to grab it, and I had this project right by my desk. And so I just kept working on this while when I was like in meetings or whatever at work, I would just sit there and work on this because it's mindless. And so I was just like, whatever, we're just gonna give this some love. So last time I was there at my little bird donut stitch marker progress keeper, and I've done a few rows since then. This is just a granny stripe blanket crochet. I've added a few new colors. It's just gonna be a random mismatch of things. These are all DK minis. So it started out with an advent, and then I literally don't know where the advent is. Where the rest of it is to even finish this. Like, I have no idea. And then I found these Hue Loco minis on a D-stash, and I had this blue and this purple are leftovers from a blanket that I made for my niece last year. So we're just kind of including them whenever. And yeah, it's coming together. It's going to be a real random mix of things. So yeah. But yeah, that's good. If you don't know how to do a granny stripe blanket, literally, I just looked on YouTube, and there's like a billion videos on how to do it. It's for those of us who are not cool enough to do a granny square, and I'm not a huge fan of the way that granny squares look, but I like the idea of a granny stripe. So that is getting some love. It just got upgraded to a bigger bag because it's like 3 times as big as it was last time you saw it. And I'm running out of minis to put on that, so I'll have to get some, or I'll have to, like, I don't know, make a project with DK and actually finish it for once. Or I could use fingering held double. Like a light fingering held double or a lace held double. But we'll see. We'll see how all that goes. And then the other project that I'm working on with my friends Tina and Cindy, who I know will watch this. So shout out to them. So basically, I asked them to do the Stephen West hemcal with me last October, and they did it. And then this spring, Tina was like, "Hey, we should do this MCal," and I was like, "All right." like regardless of what it is, like, I didn't even pay attention to what the MCal was, like what the project was, what it looked like, what the requirements were. I was like, you know what? You did mine, I will do yours, regardless of what it is. And so I have been working on this project. It's really, it's the, oh my gosh, Sharon's Road Trip MCal by Casapinka. So there's 6 clues. I'm on clue 5. I'm like in the second section of clue 5. So there's like all these little sections you'll see when you see it. But basically, I've been working on this. This is like my main project that I'm working on because I'm trying to get it done before the next Stephen West MCal. So yeah. But yeah, it's fingering weight. It says to use a size 6 needle, but I knit really loose. So I sized down to a size 3 needle, and my stitches are still really big. But basically, it's a shawl. Which side is the front? This side is the front. Okay. So it's a shawl. It's essentially a scarf, but it's a shawl. And so it has like all these little sections that you go through. And so the requirement was 4 colors. I actually did mine with 4 colors and am going to finish mine with 4 colors. Cindy and Tina had to add more colors because their colors weren't working out or there wasn't enough contrast. I think that a lot of the pictures of the recommended yarn for this were, like, I would not recommend some of those colors for this project at all. Like, a lot of them weren't contrasting enough. Like, they had a couple sets that were like all pastels or like all just really similar-ish color, like all dark colors or all pastel. Like, there just wasn't a lot of like light and dark and contrasting together. I did contrasting. It was literally just luck that I did that. I had a kit. Well, yeah, it wasn't really a kit for a project, but it was like a package of yarn that I got from where is this? Who is this from? Let's see. Yarn label will tell me. Moonglow Yarn Co. It was one of her like 6 skein things that she does. And so there was like a 3 skein fade of this like purpley pink color, and then there was a 3 skein fade of gray. So I picked the darkest purple and the lightest purple and the darkest gray and the lightest gray, and those were my colors, and it really worked out. Also, I'm doing the sections in order. I know Tina is kind of skipping around or skipping sections that were annoying or just didn't make any sense. There are a couple errors in the pattern, which is par for the course with MCALs, right? Because you have less people working on them. Excuse me. Than a standard pattern, if you have anyone even making it. So that's par for the course. But yeah, it's coming along. Like I said, I'm in clue 5, so we're getting towards the end. I'm in the second to last clue. So hopefully I'll be able to get this done soon. Like I said, I'm trying to do it before the Stephen West starts, but I don't know if it's going to happen because that's like in like a week or 2. So we shall see. Keeping all that in one of my favorite bags is a Della Q snap bag. They have them at Jimmy Bean's Wool. I don't know who else carries them. I think random other like yarn stores have some of them. If they are, ordering Della Q stuff. But this one, the black rainbow, is my favorite. And I actually just ordered the teal stand-up bag, so we'll see if they actually stand up. I am interested to see if that actually happens. So that is all that I'm currently working on. Okay, I also did like the beginning of a mitten for my Advent mitten project that I've been working on like literally years. But it was like so small and it was just not enough to show. But I did do that as well. So I'll just give it an honorable mention. So that is all of that. Let's talk about, okay, incoming yarn. I literally don't even know. Like, I don't know what I had. I don't know what I had on April. Like, okay, the truth, I was not about to watch every episode from the spring to figure out what I already had and what was new. Like I don't even know. And it's all been mixed together at this point, so like, who knows? Okay? But I know this is new because I literally just got it. So I am a patron on Patreon of a Homespun House, and this was their Patreon yarn for this month. So yeah, this is for August. So it's like a coffee, let's see what it's called. Morning Cuppa is that one. And then these 3, and then you get 3 minis if you're in the tier that I am in, which is Fog, Monster Mash, and 3 broomsticks. I literally don't know which one is which. I'm assuming the orange is Monster Mash. And then I'm assuming this one is Fog because because this is not very fog-like. So that would make this the 3 broomsticks, but I'm honestly not sure. So yeah, but a lot of her yarns are Harry Potter themed. She has a Harry Potter club going on every month this year, which is amazing based on their birthdays. Would recommend, and you'll be seeing some of that yarn in a minute. So yeah, so that's all I know that has come in for sure since the last time I saw you, because I literally just got it like 2 days ago. And then as far as upcoming projects go, I am going to be making the Stephen West MCAL Now, he has shown some kits for the MCAL, and some of the kits that I'm most interested in are the ones that they have 4 skeins, 2 skeins of a solid color and 2 skeins of a speckle that's a similar color. So what I'm planning to use is obviously not the mini. This is just a sock set, but I have 2 of these. And so I'm going to use this green. This is Cascade Heritage which is a 7525. Let me see. The color is 5608 if you're interested. So I'm going to use that as the main color, and then I'm going to use this speckle as the contrasting color. So this colorway is called Draco Malfoy. It was for his birthday, and I have 2 of these, and it was obviously green and gray silver because he is a Slytherin, and those are Slytherin colors. So yep, and there's some speckles of like this tealy blue color in there. So I thought it was different enough but similar enough that it would work together. And I'm really excited to see what this year's project looks like. So that is going to be my yarn for this project. Watch, I'll change my mind. Who knows? I've narrowed it down to like 2 options, but I'm like 90% sure that it's going to be this one, because I've never made a green project before. And the other colors are like very similar to this project that I'm making now, to the Sharon's road trip. So I was like, I kind of already have a project in those colors, so maybe I'll just do the greens. So yeah. Other projects that I am going to either be continuing working on or starting are, always gotta check my notes. So one of my sorority sisters reached out to me on Facebook, and she was like, hey, I saw that you knit. And so her grandmother had made her and her family hand knit stockings. So she sent one to me, and she said, I really want them for my kids. Can you make 2 more stockings? And she wants a different image on each side. And it's just like a slip stitch heel flap and gusset on it. And I was like, on worsted weight yarn, like the most time consuming part of that is going to be the color work. But it shouldn't be terrible, I hope. So, because it's going to be multiple colors, and it's going to be, yeah, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, I just need to finish up the patterns that I'm going to be using, and then send her the list of the yarn that I'm going to need to make it. But otherwise, those are going to be on the needles very soon. Got to get those done ASAP. And then also have that Christmas Mitten Advent that I've been working on for ever. So I finished one. I finished my partner's. And then I'm working on mine. I'm about halfway through mine so far. And then I still have one more to go after that. So it's just a constant thing in my life right now. But we'll get working on that. Otherwise, that is all of the knitting and making that I'm doing. Oh, I'm also going to be starting some cross stitches. I found this little cross stitch kit at Barnes & Noble that is Hello Kitty theme, and that's like a big thing that my nieces are into Hello Kitty. So I'm going to be making them. I am a little sad that they don't have a frame for each one. Like, they don't have like the circular thing. I don't know. I'm not cool enough to know cross stitch things, but they don't have like the circular thing for each one. So I'm going to have to go and get one at like Michael's or Joann Fabrics or something, for each of the characters. But yeah, so I'm going to be working on that. Never done cross stitch before. We'll see how it goes. I might just get one of the characters done and not all 4 for each of them, but we'll see what happens. And then other than that, just some life update stuff. I'm back, which is exciting. I've been journaling a lot, which is not a new thing for me. I've always journaled, but I haven't been very consistent, and I've been pretty consistently journaling like every couple days. More recently, just through the summer and into now, and just kind of making that a habit for me. And then the other thing is, okay, I already know I'm going to get some judgment for this, but I literally don't care. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm still getting over that cold. Um, but there are these things called mini dramas. I don't know if you've heard of these. They are amazing. I am so I am in love. Okay? They are the trashiest. They are essentially a romance novel brought to life. And they're little individual, like, minute long episodes. And they're like an hour. Like, if you watch the whole thing, it's like an hour. But if you have to watch with ads because you didn't pay for it, then it takes like 2 hours. But and you only get to watch like 5 episodes a day, depending on the app. But like, y'all, once you unlock them, you can rewatch them like as many times as you want, which is amazing. I'm obsessed. I love them because they're love stories and they're very cute in that way. Two, because they're so bad. like like the acting and just everything is so bad that it's so funny. Like, you're just like like, oh my gosh. When there are fight scenes, like, I'm like, okay, let's be honest about this. At least 50% of the guys in these have to be gay. Minimum. And some of them are not good at fighting / doing active things in general. And so imagine those people having to fight. Like, it's so bad. That, and then like the girls, they're like hardly tied up to a chair and they're like, I'm gonna die here. I'm like, first of all, they didn't even tie your feet. Like, kick them. Second of all, like, you can stand up and use the chair as a weapon. Like, I don't know. The whole time I'm like, it's just so over the top. Like, it's so over the top that it's like entertaining on a different level. Like, not for the content itself. Like, some of them are actually good, but some of them are so tragically bad that they're good. Does that make sense? Like, they're so bad that they're good. And they make me want to watch them like over and over again. And some of the fight scenes, like, I literally just watch like over and over again. And then like some of the leads, some like the lead, like the hero or whatever of the story, I'm like, he is so gay. Like, he's so gay. Like, some of them I'm like, oh bro. Like, I know that you're trying. But, like, you just had to run in that scene. And it gave you away. Like, also, yeah, no, it's like, do not watch it around children. They swear, there's sex scenes, like, don't do that. But I keep calling them my stories now. And they're so entertaining. Like, I laugh so hard because they're so bad. Like I said, there are a couple that are decent, but they're few and far between. But I would recommend the apps that I would recommend. Oh, I was looking for my phone, but I'm using it to record. The apps that I would recommend are Real Short. That's a good one. Drama Box and Short Max are the three that I use. They do have overlapping stories, and you will see, you will see that if like, there are multiple recordings, like, there are multiple of the same story. So like, you could watch a story named one thing with different actors on one of the apps, and then you could watch the same story with different actors on a different app. And sometimes, like, both stories will be on the same app. So, like, but you won't know that until you watch it. You're like, oh, yeah, that one is this. But sometimes they're better with the different actors. Like, sometimes there's certain actors and actresses. Like, there's, like, a handful of actors and actresses that whenever I see that they're in a short, I'm like, that one's gonna be good. Or at least better. than some of the other ones, because I really like that actor. But yeah, but and they recycle a lot of the same actors, so you'll see a lot of the same actors and actresses in a lot of them, and there are like a few. There's probably like three to five men and women that are in like most of them. But and then there's like random people that you'll notice that are like in the background of like a ton of them, and so you're like, oh, that was that guy that was the producer on this one, and that was the guy that was the waiter on this one, and the date on that one, and yeah. Because they just have like a very small pool of people that they seem to be pulling these actors and actresses from. But yeah, it's really interesting, it's really funny. If you're into that kind of thing, like if you're just like, it's like over the top dramatic, and you just love, like with your heart, you just love like how terrible that is, would highly recommend. I've been watching them nonstop for like weeks now, and I'm probably gonna burn out soon on them, because that is the ADHD thing to do. You get hyper focused on something, and then you make it your whole world, and then eventually it stops losing your interest as much. But yeah, would recommend. Yeah. Anyway, so that is all that is new with me. That is everything that I'm working on. That is all the yarn that I know for sure came in since the last time I saw you, because I really don't know. I'm sure there's more. I'm a knitter. Of course there's more, but I can't be sure which ones did and which ones didn't, and I'm just not gonna put in the effort to figure it out, to be honest. So anyway, I hope that you all are having a great day/weekend, and I will see you again soon. I will be back to making these regularly now that the summer is over, and happy knitting, everybody. Bye.